Hashtag appeals court strikes down Trump's sweeping tariffs as illegal under IEEPA. Washington, D.C., August 29, 2025. In a landmark 7-4 decision, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit ruled that most of former President Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs were imposed illegally under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA. The court concluded that the law does not provide the authority for the president to unilaterally impose tariffs, power that, under the Constitution, belongs to Congress. 5. Hashtag legal grounds and key judicial reasoning. The appellate panel underscored that IEEPA, in its 1977 form, empowers the president to regulate imports and respond to emergencies, but makes no mention of tariffs, duties, or taxation. The court stated that when Congress intends to grant such broad tariff authority, it does so explicitly, language notably absent from IEEPA. The ruling invoked the major questions doctrine, a principle used when an executive action has significant economic or political impact that requires clear congressional authorization. Hashtag what tariffs are affected, and which remain. The decision invalidates the Liberation Day baseline tariffs, 10% on nearly all imports, and the more targeted, reciprocal, tariffs on specific trade partners like Canada, China, and Mexico. The Wall Street Journal. 1. Investors. 6. Reuters. 4. The Guardian. 3. However, sector-specific tariffs, such as those on steel, aluminum, and copper, implemented via other legal backings, e.g., national security provisions, remain unaffected by this ruling. Hashtag temporarily staying the order. Despite the court's ruling, the tariffs remain in force until October 14, giving the Trump administration time to appeal the decision to the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, the case has been sent back to the lower court to determine whether the ruling applies broadly or only to the plaintiffs involved. 2. Hashtag Trump's reaction and administration response. President Trump fired back via his Truth Social platform, accusing the verdict of being highly partisan, calling the tariffs beautiful, and vowing to challenge the decision in the Supreme Court. He warned that abolishing the tariffs would wreak economic havoc. White House spokesperson Kush Desai defended the legality of the measures, stating the president lawfully used his executive powers to safeguard national and economic security. Hashtag broader context and legal backdrop. This federal decision builds on prior rulings earlier in 2025. In May, the U.S. Court of International Trade, CIT, found the tariffs illegal, citing the lack of authority under IEEPA, and issued a permanent injunction, which was stayed while appeals were pending. The CIT had consolidated lawsuits brought by small businesses in several states, including Oregon, and concluded that neither the fentanyl crisis nor trade deficits constituted a valid emergency under IEEPA to justify such sweeping tariff powers. Hashtag economic and political implications. Trade uncertainty. Businesses and trading partners face continued instability. Axios reports that this ruling undermines confidence in ongoing trade negotiations, even those already underway with the EU and Japan. Axios. 8. Revenue impact. Trump's tariffs were generating an estimated $30 billion per month in revenue. Their removal would significantly affect federal finances. 8. Precedent on executive power. Legal experts warn that the decision signals a judicial pushback against expansive readings of emergency power in policymaking. Hashtag looking ahead. The case is likely headed to the Supreme Court, which will ultimately decide whether the executive branch can use IEEPA to broadly reshape U.S. trade policy in times of declared emergencies. With the tariff still active until mid-October, the administration may seek alternative legal pathways, such as Section 232, National Security, or Section 301, Unfair Trade, to maintain its tariff strategy.